I'm a cybersecurity specialist. I'm currently an application security engineer, and started off my career as a SOC analyst. That was as back as 2000, 2021. Yeah. So yeah, and I've been in the industry. I've been in. I've been in communities. I've touched so many platforms to studies, platforms like Cisco, platforms like TryHackMe, Hack the Box, Microsoft, Google, and it's all about security and community security. I say um, naturally you become paranoid being in security. You just want to safeguard everything before you click something. You just want to make sure that you're clicking the right link um before someone is speaking to you, you're trying to decode if this guy is not carrying out social engineering on you and all that. So it's been fun. It's been I mean, I don't think if this was learning kung fu, I should be a I should be a
Okay.
Shawali temple right now. But
Uh,
yeah, so
uh,
the journey so far has been great. Currently an application security, yeah, and where I get to I work closely with developers to secure an application, the application of the organizations, and mostly it's a financial institution, and get them to follow a secure development life cycle in their um, development. Yeah, so basically that is it for me right now. Okay, yeah, so I started up as a stock analyst, moved up to a red teamer, then currently an application security. Yeah, that's it.
wow.
21. No, 2021,
Okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
like that's when I got in, like got my first job. It's 2021, but before that, I've actually been, studying and reading things about cybersecurity.
Mm,
I got knowledge of cybersecurity as of 2018, and from there I started doing my research. I was not exposed to much information on the internet. There's one thing about going to the internet to look for something and knowing what you're
okay.
looking for. You can be in internet surfing, doing everything, but once you have someone that could be like, okay, go to this place, do this course, do this, do that, do that. I mean, you can see that you go far. So me, I didn't have that person. So that was what took me a long time to, before I could, get my hands dirty in cybersecurity. But yeah, so I think these days we have lots of mentors and, out there. I mean, that could actually give you a part. So a lot of the guys coming up these days are lucky. So unlike us that are, I did everything.
Wait,
Yeah.
I will come to that. I remember when I started, there was no, YouTube is now the thing basically to learn to get some of these new tools. I
Yeah.
Some of these approach and the methodology and every other thing you want to learn about cybersecurity. But those
Yeah.
days we used to have books. We used to read ton of books, and I got fed up
Yeah.
books. So yeah, this time
So
is
my go to site was Z Library then. Z Library, yeah.
was
I was,
still
I
like
was
that's why.
actually using that, getting free, free books. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so we've gotten a little bit about your background, and it sounds very interesting to know that you started as a soccer analyst, and you moved to red teamer from red team, and now you're in penetration testing, right? What are your approach and your techniques?
All right. So different persons, different approach. The way I might
Yeah,
approach it might not be the way Stephen might approach it, or not be the way
this
uh,
is different.
another person might approach it. Yeah. So for me, we have standards. We have differential testing, PTES, pedestrian test execution standards, and we have open OSSTM standards. Yeah. So all the standards are out there, and they all say the same thing, but just that you just picking up your own thing. So for me, when I'm involved in a project, the first thing I carry out is what I call an OSINT. So open source intelligence. So it has like two types, active and passive. Active is when you're interacting with the assets or with the scope. Passive is when you don't have, you're not having any interaction with the asset. So let me bring it down. So when I mean having interaction with the asset, that's active. That's mean like using tools like Nmap scanning. It's an IP address that you have as a scope. Scanning it, that means you're hitting the asset one, you're hitting it, and you're getting responses from that asset. Giving you like um, intelligence like ports that are open. Ports that you can take advantage of, and vulnerabilities that are there. Then for you being passive, that means you don't interact with the asset or the scope. That's when you use tools like uh, Google docking, GitHub docking, call it docking. So more like looking for information, sensitive information that has to do with that scope or that organization that would give you access into that system. So it's more like coming from that angle. So someone I can't remember who said it, but they said if you spend if you want to chop down a tree, can spend 99% of your time sharpening your axe so that by the time you go that one time, the tree is
Exactly.
down. So bringing that concept into my methodology. So I spend more time carrying out those things because I don't think I would do any other thing without having intelligence about what I want to take advantage of or what technology or the asset I want to hack. So I would spend like 9% of my time carrying out questions, looking for intelligence. Let's say it's a URL, I'll be looking for logins, looking for um, um, ways to compromise that asset. Yeah. So it's more like me spending more of my time carrying out posting so that once I get what I need, once I get the information or intelligence I need to take advantage of that asset or that scope, I just go straight to exploitation. And from exploitation, I carry out, if I'm able to exploit it, if it works out and I exploit it maybe through remote code execution, I, you know, okay, that's depending on the scope of work. If the client if the client says I should carry on with exploiting and get it to maybe the database or the crown jewels, I would carry it out. I would carry on. But if the scope says just identify the vulnerabilities and then give us remediation, then I have to stop give my report.
Wow.
So yeah, that is how I just follow up with my
Wow.
that's my methodology. Yeah.
Different scope has different approach, right? Because of this thing you mentioned, have you ever hacked mobile application like Android APK or iOS, or do you just do web app or maybe API, or do you do source code review? Like, what's your interest when you look for target, or you are open to try anything for the first time?
So, like I said, it depends on the scope. So for me, um, if the scope has to do with okay, let's say currently I'm working with a team that is looking at a mobile application that took me to mobile application security.
Yeah.
So for that, mostly we have like two ways to go about that. We have the static testing and we have the testing. So static we use automated tools like mobile self, yeah. Then for the dynamic, use tools like Bob Suite, where you get to, simulate, try to intercept the network, try to see if you can move from one takeover account and, get yourself into the system to move money and all that. So it's more like I think I've been close to doing an account takeover, and I had to after that session, excuse me,
Yeah.
I was able to take advantage of that from the password reset. think they didn't have a bit of a security around that, and was able to use account, another account ID to log into another account ID and was able to move funds from that. So it's more like mobile is quite easy when you think static because you're going to run it through an automated tools and gives you where the vulnerabilities are, especially in the manifest. But for where you're doing the dynamic testing, you have to be very careful. You're going to be looking through the APIs, like you said, you're going to be looking through the headers, you're going to be looking through, trying to manipulate the templates for you to be able to get where the bug is, where the vulnerability is. So it's much more
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Okay. That's another thing. So I want us to talk about your challenges and also your success stories. Because you can't start this journey without having some speed bumps and also burnout. So do you actually face challenges? Maybe you are perfect. I don't know.
Uh,
So if you have challenge,
yeah,
yeah.
I
Oh
do have
yeah.
challenges. Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody, see, truth is that everybody wants to do cybersecurity. Everybody wants to be a hacker, but they don't know. They think it's just to open system and run tree.
All
And
right.
open your computer and run tree. They think it's now.
Yeah.
So, um, one, your mental health. I tell people mental health consumes more energy than physical. I'm sorry, mental strength consumes more energy than physical strength. Because
Yeah.
when I'm working like this, I like to be jobs. Because my brain is always calculating and doing things. And so my mental health is a challenge. Is okay. Let me not say it's a challenge, but it's one thing I try to be very careful of so that I don't lose it. Because workers we have the ability to
Yeah.
multitasking, and when it comes to carrying out our um, carrying out our project, which we are doing a lot of things at the same time. So
Yeah.
imagine you're on this dashboard, you're carrying out a check on SQL injection, and on this dashboard you're doing a cross-site scripting check, and then on this one you're trying to check for. But sometimes if you're not in the right mindset, you see that you get it too or the two mentally strong. If you're not mentally strong, you just mix everything. Just mix everything. So
Yeah.
that's one challenge, and that challenge is okay. Like I said, the right mindset.
Yes.
Sometimes our sometimes most clients will think that okay, we've given you this job, is your job. You have to do it now and give it to us now. Everybody have the best time they work. For me, I work best at night. I work best at 2 a.m. That's where I work. So you as a client, you now tell me I should come on site and testing while I'm working, with all the distraction around in the environment. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't assimilate, I can't pay attention to doing what I do. And that's why most of us we actually go for remote works because in that our space we're able to concentrate, no distraction, no colleague coming to ask you questions, nothing until you're trying to do a review with them. So that's one
Yeah.
challenge I used to have because I do a hybrid kind of work. So, KMC or CTO come to tell you, oh, yeah, start testing this application. We use the APK test environment, or yeah, take it and start testing. And they expect to start doing it there and then. You don't know that there's
Yeah.
a mindset you have to be in before you can,
That's
start
true.
doing everything. So that's one challenge. And another challenge I think I used to have is um, I don't know. It's I think it's because of I don't know. I don't want to call it ADHD, but the way I tackled that is to I have this playlist on YouTube by YouTube. And once I have that on my headset, I'm cued in. I hate
Yeah.
distractions. Yeah, I hate
Yes.
distractions because once
That's
I get
true.
distracted, I'm off. Also,
That's true.
that's kind of
That's
like
true.
a challenge I had. Then in our line of field, we are always learning. So cybersecurity is an evolving and you're always learning. You're always learning
Yeah.
a lot of things, a lot of methodologies, a lot of new tactics, techniques, and procedures. just need to be
Yeah.
learning every day because new things are coming out. So most times when you're on the job or when you're on a project, it's good for you. You're implementing an old knowledge. While you're implementing an old knowledge, new ones are coming out. And before you meet up with those new knowledge,
Mm.
sometimes you're always back behind, and your guys are people that are learning are actually ahead of you. So trying to learn new things while you're on a project, while I am on a project.
Yeah.
Uh, so sometimes it's more like I tell myself I'm going to take a break, maybe a 6 month break from work, just for me to learn, or a 3 month break from work just for me to learn, or a year break from work just for me to learn. So that is one way. That's a challenge for me though. Yeah.
Wait,
So I don't know
there's
who have that.
wait. How do you? So it's interesting how you take 6 month break and you come back to the game and you are still killing it. How do you do it? Like, do you just the vacation period is very long, like 6 months, man.
No, no,
That's a
no.
long.
I just said that because it might differ from people. So normally for me, I just do
Okay,
like a 1 month thing, and a
okay,
1 week, 2 week. I just use that as an example for it
okay.
differs for a lot of people. There are people that have time on their hands, but for me, it's just like a 1 month. The maximum is 1 month.
Some people feel like I've discussed with some bug hunters. You said you're not in the bug hunting field. I've
Not
interacted
yet,
with
not
some
yet, but
bug.
I'm coming there.
Yeah, yes, we
I'm
want to
coming
have you there. So some people, when like initially, I wanted to ask you, like when you go into um, when you the challenges based on your the description, what you explained, the insight you gave us. I wanted to ask you, like what gives you burnout? Have you ever tried to do pen testing or vulnerability assessment and you are
Mm.
not you are not seeing you're not getting any vulnerability, or probably you found some vulnerability but you can't
So you want to
exploit it.
exploit it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my uh
Okay,
my
that,
target. Yeah.
that okay, okay, yeah. Yeah, so that happens a lot of time. I'm gonna share when the first time I described because I think I was learning on the job. Yeah, I was learning on the job, so it was more like I study, I look at what I'm doing, and I try to bring it together. So IDOR,
Oh, idol. Okay.
idol, idol, yeah. So like I knew this was the vulnerability, and but then I didn't know how to exploit it.
Okay.
So I tried everything, went to all the resources, checked GitHub, checked YouTube, checked Medium. The worst part is I got my answer on LinkedIn itself. And the thing is that I didn't even get it that day. I left it. It frustrated me, so I left it. But it was like a learning thing. So I had to leave it. I said one day I'll come back to it. So one day I was just scrolling LinkedIn and I saw someone make a post about how to exploit a idol. So I looked through that material. I don't know, I think I bookmarked it here. So I looked through that material and to be frank, the guy broke it down as simple, like it was very easy. So like the challenge I had there was I, I couldn't get it at that moment. But when I left it, and I forgot about it. But when I came across that article, it was really
Yeah.
very easy for me to go back and break it down. Since then, so if I'm in fact if I'm on a web application, first thing is idle. Shall give up.
Yeah, idol. Idol.
Yeah.
Exactly. I discovered idol. Idol was part of the vulnerability I discovered, but the most interesting one was data, and it was serious PII. Uh, the leakage was massive. There was more than 20,000 record that I
Wow.
got from that
Access to.
program. So it was reviewing first name, last name, email address, phone number, physical address, and bank details like account number, stuff like that. So it was crazy. More than 20,000 records. And it made me think that some of these developers need to get. I know nobody is perfect. It might not necessarily be the developers for. It might be the project manager, might be the organization policy, security policy is not well
Yeah.
grounded. There are a lot of issues. There are a lot of you know thing. Is this fifth fame or fifth flame? What's the meaning of
Fifth
that?
flame.
Oh, fifth flame. Why do you choose that
Yeah.
name?
I love to ask me that. I love to ask me that question, but
Yeah.
so flame was actually fire, like flame. That's supposed to, yeah.
Wow, that's
So
interesting.
it's more like I'm an anime guy, and
Okay.
you know, even though the name is not sounding anime, it's not like Naruto or yeah, but
Yeah.
I just wanted I wanted a combination of numbers, position, and my favorite element fire.
Oh man, my goodness.
So
you're
so
you're one of
it's
you're one of the airbender.
fire better fire nation what else? Yeah, so it's more like it was more like I am my favorite bird is a phoenix bird, and the reason why I love the phoenix bird is because it has the ability to regenerate, come back in his glory. Like you think the guy is down, but don't you know it's up, guy
Yeah.
is up again.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
and it has a it has it's mostly identifies with fire too, because once it's coming into glory, it's coming with like a fire kind of
Yeah, that's true.
kind of thing, yeah. So
That's true.
I loved I loved the I loved I imagined it and I loved it and I
That's
coined
true.
out
Well,
coined out
all
my
right.
name from that, my handle from that.
Use your name as your email address. It's very hard. You
They've
can't find
taken
it.
it there.
You can't find it available. So let me ask: have you ever faced any legal challenge during?
No, I've not had those challenges. I check those things and work with the scope. This is what you want me to do, but I do it for you.
Yes.
And I don't try to go. I don't try to bring in my inquisitiveness into a client job or work. I try to do that inquisitiveness when I'm learning or when
Okay.
like now I'm trying to get into bug bounty. I think that is the best platform to even apply my inquisitive because nobody's going to tell okay what are you holding me to? You say that I should
Mm,
try this and I'm trying everything. I'm trying to get access to your
yeah,
system. Uh,
that's true.
but once I'm being limited with the scope,
Yeah.
I follow the scope. I don't go by it. And that's an advice to all everybody out there. If you have a scope, don't try to show yourself. Don't try to show how bad or how good you are.
Mm,
Just follow the scope and give the client what they want. Most of these clients, they might just want to look for an excuse to put it on your head. This person did this. That's why our server is done. That's why it's done. And before you do it, you're answering questions that you don't know nothing about. So by the
yeah,
time
that's
and also show proof of concept as proof show what you're doing. If you can be able to do a screen record of how you took advantage of things or how you exploited some things. Please just try to do it so that you have evidence too. Unless you can explain, tire. Evidence.
okay. Okay. Do you work solo? Do you work alone, or you prefer to? How do you work?
So, ah, say if you want to go fast, move alone. If you want to go far, move with a team. So for me, I like collaboration. I like to learn. Even being on this
Yeah.
call with you and you reaching out. I'm coming to your DM after the call because I love to learn. So I like to meet people. I like to be the dumbest person in the room. I like to don't
That's,
um
that's interesting.
like I think if you moving as a lone warrior is a very bad thing because you might think that what you know is what is actually in vogue, but actually what you know has actually gone obsolete. It's just you and your obsolete knowledge. But when you're working with a team, everybody's researching at the same time. Everybody's working. Everybody's having access to different platforms. By the time I bring my own updates, Steven brings his own update to the team. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody's learning a lot of things. So for me, collaboration is the key, man.
So
Key.
in this collaboration, so like when you communicate to a program owner, you are doing a vulnerability analysis and you are trying to communicate, and you need some information, or probably the developer is trying to get more information about you. How do you handle clarity? Like, this guy say, "Ah, this thing is not a bug," or this thing is not a vulnerability, or this thing is not, how do you handle those kind of feedback?
So most times, okay, like the other day I was on a call with our senior dev, and it was more like I did a static analysis on the mobile application, and mobile self threw some vulnerabilities on their manifests. And the guy was like, "Ah, what's this thing? You're the security person. What are you supposed to tell us what this thing is?" I said, "Oh God, say now you wrote this code, you implemented this thing that this test is showing as a vulnerability. What is it
Yeah.
doing for you? Tell me so that I know that whether it's a false positive or whether it's something we need to move
Hmm.
or turn off." So
Yeah.
it was more like a going back and forth, and mostly developers don't like us. Don't like us. That's the truth. They don't like us.
Oh, Jesus.
And
Okay.
no, 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 no. We are their worst nightmare, because once they are done with their coding and testing and they push to test environment, they need your go ahead order before they can push to production. And if you tell them this thing is bad, they have to go back and start from scratch
Hmm.
to be able to do what it is they want to do. Yeah. So I tried my best to, bring it down to a layman's understanding. Also, getting knowledge from their own end, because it's their code. All I did was test and see the vulnerability, and I'm telling them, okay, this is actually has a vulnerability that I can actually manipulate. Um, I can manipulate your sessions, and it's not secure, it's not authenticated. Try putting implement authentication on this, and
Hmm.
try. Most of them might not know what this is. So I'm like, okay, this is a resource for you to follow. I will send them a link to an article. You can follow this article and implement it to your own experience and see how far you can go. Then once you're done remediating, I'll do a retest. So once we do that, so I think one time I found something, and the guy was like, "Ah, they cannot remediate it though. That if when they remediate it, the app is not compiling again." I say, okay. So now, is this
So,
a risk the organization can manage,
oh boy, this is so
or
funny.
is it a risk? Is this something that we can manage? Because it's not when somebody take advantage of this vulnerability now tomorrow now. People will
Hmm.
say, so I had to make sure that we brought the communication down to layman's understanding, and they had to put a comment on Jira, make sure
Hmm.
that okay, um, they've actually agreed that the risk is a very low risk and something that the organization can manage. And they have actually put an authentication, a multi-factor authentication before anybody could get um, to that to
Okay.
that vulnerability. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's that's good to know. He said
Mhm.
that what the most interesting part of what you said was if you fix this vulnerability, the application will not compile. That got to me.
No,
Like,
I don't know if you've actually had that experience, but that's most times they tell you they've remediated it, but the thing did not want to compile. So what are we going to do?
Yeah. I have had an experience like that before. It's very funny.
Now?
Okay.
It's crazy.
Okay. So tell me, so how do you keep yourself up to date?
So what I do is I try to avoid overload of information.
Hmm. Interesting.
That alone would, when you're learning everything at the same time, you're not learning anything at all.
Yeah.
So I try. What I do is okay. Like for me, my go-to social media platform is LinkedIn. On LinkedIn now, people are putting articles out there. If you go to my LinkedIn now, what I do is those, I repost whatever article I find interesting that I will go back
Yeah.
to. And I repost it
Mm-hmm.
because I'll go back to it, and I repost it because I have other people who are on my network that might have see those articles, um,
Yeah.
interesting, or they need it in their field. So that is my go-to. That's like my go-to. And I have platform like Hack the Box. Hack the Box is a very good platform. Very, very good. They have a bug bounty um, program certificate. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really nice, and I'm planning to take up that next year. So that's kind of like my initiation into bug bounty. So like looking through that, just looking through the introduction of the material, I
Yeah.
the very good one. So anyone who is interested in bug bounty, just try to take the first 6 months of your life or the first 3 months, depending on how fast you can assimilate and learn things. Just
Yeah.
take it to do the box bug bounty program. You get
Yeah.
certified. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to hack the box, so, but this is for me. I think I think that would help. Then
Yeah.
industry collaboration. Try to
Yeah.
follow larger networks. Try to follow people who are into what you're learning. Um, I can't really mention everybody I'm following, but there are lots of people I'm following.
Who are your top five or top 10 people that you, out of all this bucket of people that you follow, who are the top five or
Mm,
top 10? You can you name their names?
okay, for me, almost everybody in TCM security. I can't. I know the only person I know in there is Adam's Heats and then their web guy David. So like TCM security is they've actually been my go-to. They've actually been the my school with YouTube.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I go to them. John Hammond, this guy is
John Hammond
I
just
think
recently hit 1 million subscribers on
yeah
YouTube.
this cross-site guy, this cross-rat guy. I've forgotten his name. I was
Mm,
yes, Secrat, yes. Sec, Namsec is my guy. API Sec, this guy, right?
yeah.
Stoke is my guy, the Sweden guy, Stoke. Alisa Knight, the Alisa Knight is my female, female hacker. That's when you come to vehicle mobile hacking. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. So, but
Then
in your G,
on LinkedIn, on LinkedIn,
yeah.
sorry, on LinkedIn, I have this guy, Joas Antonio dos Santos. He's a Brazilian. Guy is
Okay.
always putting out things out there. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, if you
It
go to
doesn't have a
his
YouTube
LinkedIn
channel.
page, I think he has a YouTube. Joas Antonio. Um, Joas Antonio. Yeah, he's a Brazilian guy.
Popular names you mentioned, very popular names. Okay. So, but aside YouTube videos and LinkedIn, do you read any books?
What I
Any
would
books?
recommend, what I'm going to recommend is that whoever is interested, just go to my LinkedIn page, check my profile, and check the
Okay.
resources out there. On my Twitter, I retweet things, so just go there, check it. Then, if you really need books, I have a library. Whatever it is you need, I could just go there, check it out. Because I can't really keep doing a lot of things at the same time, so I can't really keep keep
Yeah.
how many books I've read or those ones. But yeah, there are resources. I think I have quite a number of resources in my library.
Okay. Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, you mentioned quite popular names, people that I've met. You know, yeah, those guys are very interesting, and we encourage
Okay.
people to follow those guys. You know, They put out a lot of resources for
Yeah.
free. So okay,
Yeah, for
so
free, man, for free.
so, yeah. So, what's your opinion about cybersecurity in Nigeria first, then in Africa? You know, so like,
Okay, so oh,
what do you think? Where are we in cybersecurity in Nigeria? Where do you think we are going, and how long do you think we can match up with the rest of the world?
so for us Nigerians, yeah. So for us
Okay,
Nigerians,
sorry.
there's something I love about us Nigerians. I love the fact that we are hardworking and we are smart, and we have a lot of factors that are hindering us from, getting being head on with other developed countries.
Mm,
So for that, I'm going to say that if it's individually,
yeah,
Nigerians are already playing. They're already playing at the top with other developed countries.
yeah,
We are there already. But if you are talking as a whole, as a country, where our government is, putting us out there, we are nowhere.
okay,
So in Nigeria, it's just recently that they just started having what I call it, they just started having knowledge or just started having interest in cybersecurity. Before they just think cybersecurity is just just nothing. Then what are we talking about? Before we have communities in Nigeria who are trying to preach cybersecurity. Organizations that are only exposed to cybersecurity are top organizations like the top four organizations, big fours, and all these multinational organizations. This is because most of they don't even deal with local cybersecurity engineers. They deal with the international one. So and they deal with international workers. So most of those knowledge they try to bring it from their own end international waters down to their multinational organizations. So, but when it comes to just a normal person or just a normal supermarket, normal mall, knowing what cybersecurity is, I don't think we've gotten to that extent. Where I can say, okay, Nigeria will have gotten to a very good place in cybersecurity is when the normal man, you meet up somebody and tell the person, what's social engineering? They'll be able to tell you, social engineering is when somebody is trying to do you while you trying to use your play with your emotions and all those kinds of things. And that's okay. Nigeria is getting. And with the upcoming communities, they are really doing a good job trying to educate our communities about cybersecurity. Then organizations are trying their best to implement cybersecurity in their like financial organizations, and the government too have taken it seriously. So I think maybe in the next 10 years, cybersecurity will be a thing in Nigeria, and we cybersecurity and specialists or practitioners will be paid well because well,
all
everybody
right.
wants to Japan because you're not paid well.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. So okay, so I don't know, before you go, so there are other things I would love to talk about, but I don't know if we have more time. But before you go, what's your advice to young guys and those people that are doing it, they are killing it? Sorry, do you see yourself? How long do you see yourself doing this? Or do you have any plans for like a side thing that you want to do aside cybersecurity?
yeah, yeah. So I see myself starting up my own cybersecurity firm, more of an offensive side cybersecurity. I'm
Okay.
having like an offensive security company that companies can reach out to carry out red teaming exercises for. So I'm still playing in the industry for now, learning the ethics and learning how to go about it. Yeah. So my advice out there to guys who are trying to come in is one, don't think you're coming to play. Don't think you're coming to learn how to hack. Just go. Don't think hacking is what you see on TV. For those that are trying to say they want to hack. So it's going to involve everything about you, your time, your resources. Um, you're going to lose a lot of things. You're going to gain a lot of things too. So are you ready to sacrifice for what you want to come and do? Don't think that okay, people are in the industry are enjoying because they're earning lots of money. They sacrifice lots of things before they could get to where they are. Okay. So just prepare your mind that I'm ready to sacrifice things. You're gonna lose friends, you're gonna lose a lot of things. Just get yourself
It's a little
ready,
stress.
you know. So
Do you
another thing
even
is
lose
another
girls?
thing, yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah, you're gonna lose the babes, yeah.
Go, go ahead. Go
You're not
ahead.
gonna
Sorry for.
have time. Another advice I want to give is it's your journey. Don't compare yourself with somebody else. Even if you two started at the same time, don't try to. Because me and this person started at the same time. It's like he's here, me, I'm still here. No, it's your journey. Just make sure that every day try to learn something when while you're still on your learning platform. Every day you're learning something. Every day you're learning something. Just try to be better than yesterday. The competition is just you looking at that person at the mirror. That's your competition. So don't think I'm like I am now. I'm not looking at Steven as a competition. Me, I'm looking at him as a mentor. you know. So it's like we said earlier, collaboration, join communities. Join. Try to always want to learn. Eh? Then
Yeah.
always try to give back to the community in any way you can. You can
Yeah.
actually you can learn more by teaching. So mentor people. Someone reaches to you, mentor them.
We didn't cover everything today because of time constraints and also some other factors. But this is not the end of the conversation. We're just starting, and we still we'll definitely have maybe some time to do some um, live demo or something, and because some people are like, how do you actually do this? Like, you just talk 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 talk. How do you keep notes? Do you write notes with pen
Yeah,
and paper, or do you put it in? Is there a platform you use
yeah,
for your note keeping? How do you write a report? Is there a tool for it? Is there a methodology? Like, what are the tools you use? What how do I get those tools? Are they free, or can I use them? Like, so people have plenty questions. Some people are curious and they would like to understand. And maybe we'll set up maybe another time to talk more. This is a very interesting conversation. Very interesting. I've learned some new things from what you said so far. And yeah. So is there anything that maybe that is in your mind as regards this conversation that you want to share, or before we pull the plug?
Well, all I have to say is, I mean, thumbs up, man. Kudos to you. Kudos to what you're doing for the community. It's not an easy thing bringing people to come and speak about the journey. A lot of people actually turn down requests. A lot of people would, tell you they're
Yeah.
joining at the same time, but now disappoint. And meeting people. Yeah. So the platform is a very great one. These guys like, subscribe, for updates. We're going to be learning a lot from this channel, and I mean, reach out. Whoever it is that is on the channel, try to follow, try to know what they are doing, try to learn. And I'm sure the guys that are coming in will not be too stingy with their knowledge. They want to give it out. So that's
I'm
it.
not
Yeah.
sure.
So that's it from my end. Yeah.
Okay, so
Thanks,
that
Stevie, for
this is,
having me here.
yeah, you're very welcome. So I will leave your social media link, your LinkedIn profile in description below. Anybody that want to reach out to you to get more insights, to reach out in terms of collaboration, partnership, or whatever they're interested in your story. So I'll drop your link in the description. And so thank you guys for this time you're giving us. I hope you got value from this conversation we had.